Okay, so we are live. Let me make sure it's showing up on my end.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So, all right, everyone, thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday. It's the last day, Sunday of the month. So we're gearing into November. So I told you guys we were going to start back up the Black Business Highlight. So I am excited for you all to hear what Miss Janice Ward has to talk to us today about her business. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So just to do a quick introduction, my name is Fady. I'm the owner and CEO of Black Women of Arizona, and we are doing Black Business Highlights to highlight Black women-owned businesses that are located in Arizona. So I'm going to switch over to Miss Janice and let her talk to you about who she is and her business. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So go ahead, Miss Janice.
Okay, well, I am Evangelist Janice Ward of A Better Way Ministry Incorporated. We're a family violence prevention ministry. Our scripture comes from the book of Galatians, which is bear ye one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ, which is Galatians 6:2. Our primary goal is to end the screaming silence of domestic violence. We want to help people be heard. We want to help them have a new life free from abuse, because that is just not God's way. There's nothing right, there's nothing acceptable about abuse, and we need to stop it. And being quiet about it is almost saying it's okay.
Right. So thank you so much for coming on. I think this is a great topic for us to talk about. Domestic violence has been a huge thing in our community for forever, and I don't think we talk about it enough. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing this information with us. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what led you to start this business.
What led me to start it was the need. The need was there. Um, I used to have a Christian book and gift store, and it was called Heavenly Inspirations Christian Book and Gifts. It was in Gary, Indiana. It was a small little shop that kind of blossomed into something bigger. But in the interim of it, I would have different people coming in, and because of the title Christian, people would come in and they would just, share themselves and share their stories. And I ran into a lot of women that were in violent situations and didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go. A lot of times they weren't happy with what was happening in the shelters, or some didn't even know how to get to a shelter. And I would do fundraisers for shelters. I would, take clothes, but I saw that there was a need. Even in church, you have people that would come to you because I was in ministry, and they would share what they was going through, but then there was no help for them. And it just was put on my heart that there has to be a better way to do this. So that's where we got the name A Better Way Ministry. We started working with victims of violence, especially from the faith-based environments, because a lot of times we just don't know what to do in the churches when someone comes to us with a situation. We pet them, we hold them, we tell them it's going to be all right, but there's some real need there that we need to stop and take note of. And I typically try to connect social services with the churches, So there are organizations that are already out there, like the shelters and maybe some social counseling, those things. We kind of bring those organizations in with the church and kind of marry them together. And we do some training and help them to better help them. But we also do things on the outside. We are worldwide, so we have shelter information. We give all kind of resource information as well. So, for example, there's a link on our page called the Hot Peach pages. So if you're in Bangladesh or Africa, if you go on that site, you'll find shelters in your area. So no matter where you are, if there's something there, we've got it on our website to help you out.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, how long has your have you how long has it been since you started this business?
Uh, I started the business, I'd say, well, it's more of a ministry than it is a business because we don't do too much business. It's not a monetary thing. It's all love funded. Um, I say we started it probably about 2004 is when we initially started it. I ended up being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, as I was telling you earlier, and that kind of put a halt to everything that I was doing. And you have your life plans and goals, and I was doing some things, so that kind of stopped some things. So I picked it back up, and I just started running with it. So now I devote almost half of my day to making sure that everybody has a safe place to go to. They have someone to talk to, that they realize that they're not alone. Um, so I say 2004, 2005, somewhere in there is when we really started.
Okay, perfect. And I know you kind of touched up on this before. I know the purpose of your ministry is domestic violence. So, what type of women, or if you help men, what type of um, people does the ministry serve?
We serve we're with family violence. So we work with child abuse, we work with elder abuse, we work with sexual assault, rape, and we work with intimate partner violence. So we work with anyone that's being abused in a familiar family environment.
Okay, perfect. So, and I know we were talking before we went live, so I kind of want to dive into those different types of abuse just a little bit more. What are some because I know you've been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure you've run into a whole bunch of situations. What are some things that you've noticed in the community as it relates to domestic violence? I know we were kind of talking about the church. I think that plays a really big part in the domestic violence issues that we're having in the community. So I wanted to talk about more of that in more detail. So what are some things that you've noticed since you've been running this ministry?
Um, that there's still a whole lot of more work to do. The the need is there and it's so great, especially right now during this pandemic. Again, like I mentioned, elder abuse, which is when there's a elder person or a special needs person that's being abused. People abuse them in so many ways. They abuse them financially. They abuse them emotionally. Abandonment is enough. You know what I'm saying? Or just giving them just enough to get by. Some tie their parents in the bed and leave them there. You know what I'm saying? So it's some horrible things that happen in all areas of the family. So the family is actually under attack. And we cover it up and we figure because it's under the house, it ain't our business. But what people don't get when you look at crime, a lot of the crime that happens out in the street spills out from an abusive home. And we need to do more. So what I guess what I'm trying to say is I think the silence and the fact that we don't have these conversations is the big issue. We don't have these conversations because unfortunately victims unfortunately feel shame about it. And there's no shame on them. The shame belongs on the abuser, not on the abused. But a lot of times she'll carry that with her, so she'll hide it. You know what I'm saying? Because she's ashamed of what's happening to her. Because a lot of times people that are in abusive situations still love their abuser.
That's true. That is very true. So I wanted, because I know we were talking about this before we went live. What what issues or concerns do you have when we think about the church and domestic violence?
The screaming violence, as I said earlier, the fact that they're screaming. If you look in their faces, you know what I'm saying? If you look in their eyes, you can see it. You can look at their countenance. It's there, but they don't have the voice to say it because of the way the church is set up. It's like that. You keep your private business to yourself and you take that and deal with that at home. I think that the lack of training on how to properly respond, as we were talking earlier, I was telling you, the typical way that a pastor does that is they'll look at it as a simple marriage problem and they'll set them up for premarital counseling or marital counseling. And in that counseling, they'll try to solve it. But that's the wrong place to do it, especially when there's abuse involved. They need to be separated, and both parties need to be felt to be able to be honest with those persons, and those persons won't judge them. So if you have an abusive person that's in that counseling, they need to go into that knowing that this person is here to help me, not judge me, not sentence me, and then maybe they can get some help. I don't deal with the abusers. I mean, that's, to me, I think that's a whole other thing. I deal with the person that are hurt. So the persons that are hurt need a special type of understanding. I didn't share this with you earlier. I used to work with the Gary Police Department and their victim services department as well. And this was my ministry inside of there. They allowed us to come in, set up, and everything. So if there was a typical abuse call and the woman's there, black eye, nose running, blood everywhere, whatever, they would bring them to my office. I would give them a 2 hour window to talk. I helped them get the resources that they need. If they needed to find some place to go, I would help in that respect. If they needed counseling, I would avail myself to that or help them with other places. If they needed finances, I see what I can do. I can find finances for them. But when you get them at that critical moment, the typical victim or person that's surviving it, their world revolves around the abuser because of the things he does to them mentally. A lot of people don't understand that there's a mental part for abuse to happen. It doesn't just, you don't just come in and just start slapping you around and you take it. You know, there's little chips at you, chips at your personality, your whole being. You're not good enough. You're fat. You're ugly. You're stupid. You're dumb. Ain't nobody gonna want you. But you got to remember, when that person is saying all those things, they're still there with you. So are you nobody? So we're what we're trying to do is help people understand that there's a better way to live, and abuse has no place in your life. It just doesn't. You have a right to be free, a right to be who you were created to be. You have thoughts, you have desires, you have dreams, you have goals. Go for them. No one should come into your life and take that away from you. And I just want women to hold on to who you are and be that boss chick that you are. God made you who you are. We're all gifted. I don't care what you believe in or what your faith is, right? There's got to be some source that you create, that you give credit to bringing you to this earth, right? So whoever that is for you, right? Tap into that. For me, I believe in God, my God, right? And I know that his desire for me is for me to live my life full and abundant with joy, not with all the sorrow that goes on in these type of relationships. So I can go all the way off script on this, but I want to kind of stay within your perimeters. But the important thing I want to get women, especially black women, to understand, we have been at the bottom of the pole for so long. We're always misused. There was a book, I can't think of the author. It's a black writer, and it was called This Bridge Called My Back. You know, and that's what happens to us as women. So we need to take control of where we are in our lives and who we are in our lives, and then embrace that, and then go for what it is that we want to be. And don't allow a relationship to stifle your greatness. You're great, you're beautiful, you're designed to be something. But if you get into a situation, this person rewrites who you are because you've given them permission to do that. So again, not blaming the victims or the survivors of it all. I'm saying take control of you. Make sure you're whole when you go into a relationship. As I was saying earlier to you prior prior to the interview, play fighting. Don't ever do that. Stop that at the very, no pushing, no, none of that. We're not doing that. Because see, that is a sign in the beginning if they're doing that. Jealousy. No, that's not, that doesn't mean he loves you. No, that means that he wants to control you. You should be free to be who you are. Period. So
I'm
this
glad
one,
you mentioned
it's
that, because I
actually
was going to ask you, what are some, because when people think of domestic violence, they think, oh, he's beating on me, or, I have a black eye or busted lip. But domestic violence is more than just the physical aspect of it. So I wanted to um, get from you some of the things that um, either us as black women or society has deemed as, this is normal, this means he loves me, whatever, whatever. But what are some red flags that women should be looking out for when it comes to abuse, other than just the physical aspect of it?
uh, emotional, constant put downs, constant you're dumb, you're not smart enough, you're this, you're not, anything that assaults your being, all right? Emotional, financial abuse, economic abuse is real, right? Not allowing you to have money, giving you an allowance when you go and work for the money yourself, right? You have to turn the money over, or you're not allowed to work, right? You're made to be property, all right? Because a lot of times some men think that protecting you is treating you like your property, like I got a cow, I got a horse, I got a wife. That's not what a wife is, right? So you have emotional, economic, then you have spiritual abuse. Again, that happens in the church as well, because a lot of times people will take and misuse scripture. As we talked about it earlier, as far as submissiveness and subserviency are two totally different worlds. But people will take that scripture and make subserviency mean the same thing as submissiveness. Subserviency is a slave, right? No, that's not what you are when you get into a relationship. You're not that person's slave. You're that person's mate. You know what I'm saying? So you should be enhanced and they should be enhancing you as well. So those are the basic types. So you have emotional, you have physical, you have financial, you have spiritual, you have mental. So those are the type of abuses that you have. A lot of times we focus on the physical, but the physical heals. The emotional takes a long time to get by.
Right. And I have Dee Dee on here said that she mentioned manipulation, controlling, and emotional abuse. And I think we talked about controlling and emotional abuse. But what does, in your opinion, what does manipulation look like when you're dealing with domestic violence?
Oh wow! I don't know if you saw the movie Gaslight. Gaslighting is another term we use, but there's actually a movie. It's a really good old movie where he kind of played mind games with her, made her see things that really wasn't there, made her hear things, and then told her she was crazy because she really did hear it, but he said you didn't hear it. So it's playing with your mind. Manipulating is taking control and making a person do what you want them to do and taking away your will. So yes, definitely. So it's that control thing to manipulate a person to do what you want them to do. Um, Telling them that your family is not really for you. Your family don't like me. He don't like us. So I don't want you around your family. So if he can get you away from your family, then you're his world. And you, I mean, he's your world and that's it for him. That's all he wants. Right. And again, we got to remember it's not just man, woman. You have same sex partners that have the same issues. So the person that's in control, the abuser, tends to do those things.
That's good. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me take a look here, because I'm looking at the comments in case anyone has questions. Guys, if you have questions, please feel free to comment on them. If you want to ask her anything, you can definitely do that. And I know for your services, we were talking about this before. It kind of supports the victim from the beginning stages up until the end. So what does that look like? To kind of take us through the process of what it looks like from helping a victim from the moment they reach out to you till I don't want to say the final stages, but kind of take us through what those steps are with your services.
Okay, so we would say from the beginning of the abuse to life after abuse. So life after abuse is my favorite part because that's where I tend to work with them in the shelters when they're in that shelter environment or they've left the abusive home and then they have this new life. That's what the support group that we have works with, that life after abuse, taking back your control. But from the beginning of it, you have a person that's unsure, they're afraid, that fear is real and it's valid, okay? Because you have someone that's threatening to kill you. I mean, they do all kind of things. I'm going to hurt the kids, I'll hurt your mother, blah blah blah. And some of them actually do those things. So from that point, you have this person that's, that makes that step to walk away from the abuse, right? And so there's this big component of fear that they're dealing with, a very real component. And then they have all of these different adjustments that they have to go through. So once they get into a shelter or a safer environment, that's when the healing can start. And then the rebuilding of your life, it's right there. And then from that point on, when you start looking at transitioning back into, a normal life. So some shelters will have a transition program, right? And what we do, again, we are a resource ministry. We will point you to those areas where you can get the help. So that's basically what we do. But life after abuse, again, is my favorite part because, again, you start with the abuse, then you get to the place where you're able to make that step to get out of it. Then you go from there to the shelter part, which is could be 2 to 3 months. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter, or 30 days. But you're in that space, and you have to make a lot of decisions in that short time of this new life that you want to have. You have to think about your children, think about where you're going to live, how you're going to make it, those kind of things. So those were some really um, tough times for some people. And then you get into the life after abuse part. This is when you get ready to launch back out into this new life that you want to have, that's free of abuse, and that you're in the front seat of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it looks. So does that make sense at all to you? Because in my head, I'm seeing it, but I don't know if
No,
it's coming
I
out my
get it.
mouth
I get it.
correctly.
I just kind of wanted to for you to
Okay.
explain it to whoever's watching, to kind of explain to them
Yeah.
what that process looks like. And you brought up something, and I kind of want to touch on it a little bit more. With and I'm not this is not my area of expertise. I've been supporting women on the platform for years now. A lot of it is done anonymously, but some of the things that I've noticed, just with the women that I've supported or have reached out to me for resources or advice or something. One of the things that I've noticed a lot is, whether they're married or in just a long-term relationship, a lot of women who are experiencing some type of abuse, which again may not necessarily be physical, a lot of them are running into the issue, well, I don't want people to judge me, or he gave me this certain lifestyle. I won't be able to do it without him. He pays for the bills. I don't work. I don't have any. I won't be able to make as much money as he did. So, what advice would you give to someone in that situation where they realize the abuse is happening, but they're staying for just to save face, almost, I guess you could say? What advice would you give to them for that?
Um, I mean, I could give a lot of advice, but the truth of the matter is, until that person's ready to leave, whatever I say is not going to make a difference. See, you have to value yourself enough to want to get out and do it on your own, right? A lot of
Right.
times, because we are women, and we are created a certain way, we're nurturers. We think we can fix with love. And a lot of times we stay in those situations. We might be comfortable in our life settings. If I just, you get into that whole eggshell kind of a situation, where you're walking on eggshells just to keep that person happy so you don't get them upset and those kind of things. If that is comfortable to you, because, everybody's different in abuse. Some people say, well, yeah, but I still love them. Yeah, but you don't understand. I want to say, get the hell out of there. Excuse my French. And I know I should have said that, but you want to say that. You want to pull them out of it, right? But they have to want that. So if a person's comfortable and their comforts are more comfortable to them and they want to stay in that, I really can't speak to that because it's an individual thing. Now, when she wants to get out, we can talk. But if her home life or if she feels still there's a way or a chance, it's not my place to go in and give her any advice on that. But when she's ready to come out, reach out. We can talk.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I definitely
Because
agree.
I want to say this too, because it gets into judgment. I want to make sure because I don't want to judge anyone, right? This is a
Mhm.
judgment-free zone. So if creature comforts are important to me, right? And they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting that with my mate. And let's say they only abuse me when they get really mad or get drunk, and I can deal with it. It doesn't hurt me that bad. If that's their life, again, it's hard to, you can't speak to that. Now, when someone says help, I'm there. So that's where I kind of draw the line for myself. Some people are different, but that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you so much. So, I wanted to talk about some of the services that you offer. So, I know you said you go into shelters and things like that. You're going into the churches to making sure that they have the resources and are properly trained to help in these situations. But I know you were mentioning before we came on that you also have a prayer line, and then you also had some ways that we can support you in terms of how, even if we're not going through domestic violence, how we can support your cause. So I kind of wanted you to talk about that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I have right here our prayer line. I don't know if I can see that, if that is coming through or not, if I can get it up there. Bottom line, it is okay. This is getting ridiculous here. I can't do. There you go. So this is our prayer line. It's 18665 prayer, and I have called it the National Dedicated Domestic Violence Prayer Line. Anyone can contact it. Okay, it's free. You'll never be asked for money on the line. You're not going to get a recorded person, and you know, you might get that if you want to hold, but typically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you just dial 18665 prayer. You'll get a live human being, okay, that will answer the phone and say, how can I pray with you? Period. No judgment. If you just want to talk, they're there, right? If you need some resource information, I've provided them with a lot so that they can help you in that area as well. We've actually, on the prayer line, have had to call 911 for someone that's calling. The other part about the prayer line is that you can text it 24/7. You can call it 24/7 every day. We're available. So I wanted to make sure that anyone that's going through, and again, it's open to anybody that needs prayer, but I've called it the National Dedicated Domestic Violence Prayer Line. So that's what it's called.
All right, perfect. So, how can we support you? Because I know this is a little bit different from the business highlights that we've done in the past. It's more so of a ministry, and it's a nonprofit. So, how can we support your cause to help women in our community?
Oh, well, we always are looking for volunteers, but we also have, right now, we're in the middle of our In Purple campaign. In our In Purple campaign, we have some t-shirts that you can go into our store, FaithWorks Wear, and buy some shirts there. The 20%, not 10, goes toward the domestic violence shelters in different areas. We're doing a fundraiser right now for domesticviolenceshelters.org, which is an excellent organization. It has, so much information for anybody that's going through abuse in any form or fashion. They have shelters in every area that you can, go to. They just chock full of information. So I want to make sure I get that information out. And if someone can, donate 5, 10, $20, whatever you can do, we will be happy to take it. We do have it on our websites. We also have it on our Facebook pages and Instagram. You can find us at abetterwayministry.com. And you can also find us at A Better Way Ministry. I think that we're on Facebook under A Better Way Ministry. And I don't know how you would find it that way. Just A Better Way Ministry is where we are. This is what you will probably see once you go to us. That's us there. Ah,
Okay,
okay. I know
let
I'm
me
just
make
messing
sure I
with
put
you a little.
that. No, it's okay. Let me put it here so
Okay.
that people can click on it. And then I wanted
Mhm.
to grab the website. You said it was called domesticviolenceshelter.org.
DomesticShelters.org.
Domestic
And that's who
shelters.
we are raising some funds for. We're raising for domesticshelters.org. We want to give them something at the end of the year. Again, domestic violence does happen all year long, but we're going to collect money all the way up until the end of the year. And we want to donate some money to them. We've already gotten, I think, maybe $166 in donations so far. So we're definitely doing that, but not just for domestic violence. October. We're also going to give some to protectionfromabuse.org. That's Mr. Stephen Dana. He helps at that critical moment when someone's actually trying to leave, because that's the most dangerous time for a person to leave a relationship, is when they're leaving. That's where you have more of your suicides and murder suicides and homicides and the maiming and the acid attacks. All that stuff happens when a person decides to leave. So there's a right way, there's a wrong way, and then there's a safe way. So we're trying to help those organizations as well as the prayer line.
Okay, perfect. And guys, I put the prayer line, the Facebook page, and the two organizations. If you guys are interested in supporting her cause. Um, of course that'll be her social media information as well. So we're about to wrap things up. We talked about a lot, we covered a lot. I want to thank you for coming on today and talking about this, because when we talk about Black women, there's so many issues that we need to unpack as a community, and I'm glad that you have those resources there available for women in the community to take advantage of. So guys, even if you're not necessarily a victim of domestic violence, some of us have friends, some of us have family members, some of us have coworkers that are going through this. So even if you can't necessarily use this information, make sure you share it with someone else. Like Miss Janice was saying, it's not, it's a no judgment zone. You can call in. They're available 365 days. I think it was very good that we talked about this now, because like we were mentioning before we came on live, COVID, if anything, has opened our eyes to a lot of situations. And because we're home now, we're stuck with each other, so we don't have those distractions and those escapes that we had before. And so the domestic violence is real right now, you guys. So please make sure you share this information. Share this whole video if you want. If someone's not too sure of whether or not this is for them, reach out to her if you're not too sure, and she'll be more than happy to help you guys. And again, Ms. Janice, thank you so much for coming on. I don't know if anyone has any other questions before we wrap up. But while we're waiting for any potential questions, was there any other final words, any other words of advice you wanted to give to us today before we call it a day?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to say. I wanted to, first of all, thank Venus Henderson Hughes and Cheyenne Williams for being by my side through this whole thing, because this is really rough work. Venus Henderson Hughes has Henderson Hughes Health Partners. I told you about the minority health fair that they do, so look out for her. And they're also our fiduciary, so they stand over us and take the nonprofit. So all donations are charitable, so you can get your credits at the end of the year. Also, I wanted to remind anyone that's going through that maybe you haven't said anything, maybe you want to inbox me, feel free to do that. I want you to know, most importantly, you're not alone. You are cared about, you're valued, you matter, your life matters, and you deserve to be free.
All right. Thank you so much. So thank you guys for joining us today. Like I said, all of the links are there. Reach out to her. Your name is Janice Ward on Facebook.
Yes, I'm Jan Ward, actually.
Jan Ward. Okay. So reach out to
Yeah,
her,
yeah,
you
that's
guys.
this big face right there. Jan Ward, look at this big old face on Jan Ward, you'll find me.
Okay. So reach out to her, you guys, if you need services, even if it's not for you, if it's for someone else that might find the information useful. Reach out to her, you guys, because I know I get a lot of inboxes throughout any given moment about various issues that we all face. So this is a resource. So if you guys reach out to me for this, I will refer you to Miss Janice Ward, because she's an expert in this field. So make sure you reach out to her if you guys need help. Thank you guys for coming on and listening to Ms. Janice Ward today. If you are interested in having your business highlighted, I'll put the link in the comments if you want to submit your information. So that's it from me, you guys. I will see you guys, I think, in about a week or two for our next business highlight. So everybody enjoy your afternoon, and thank you again, Janice.
Thank you, Faye, and bless you in everything that you do.
Thank you.